Flat cap pastor dashing through pages. Chronicles, Gospels, prophets, sages. Leviticus, laws to pause, find phrases. Turning them corners, no spiritual mazes. Genesis to Revelation, so divine. Flip them scripts, endless grace you'll find. Songs singing sweet, unbroken lines. Hitting that rhythm, wordplay refined. Anybody in here blessed? Anybody in here blessed? Bible in 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? Wake up early, the dawn's light shimmers. Spiritual breakfast, soul food dinners. Isaiah's vision, Ezekiel's figures. Walk through the fire, no one limbers. Kings and judges, prophets profound. Plowing the word, no mythical ground. Verse after verse, wisdom's bound. Heavenly soundtrack, soul serving sound. Anybody in here blessed? Anybody in here blessed? Bible in 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? No shortcuts, all divine routes. Listen to the whispers, no room for doubt. Parables drop stronger than gold faucets. Souls hydrated from divine prophets. Study the book, change perspectives. Carefully crafted, not too subjective. A year to reflect, learning perfect. Patterns of grace that time can't deflect. Old Testament drops deep and so real. Kings and warriors, covenant seals. Split that Red Sea, divine reveal. Commandments written, not made of steel. Bethlehem birth to cross on the hill. Unfolding the never blessings, pastor with skill. Scripture flip, every verse fulfilled.
Through the word, every verse, every chapter, nothing unheard. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Yo, online sermons, holy vibes delivered. Spreading light, got the sinners reconsidered. Psalm to psalm, man's like a holy DJ. Flipping through scripture, repping the Yahweh. Your emotes in the chat, praising the message. Flat cap on point, teaching eternal lessons. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick. Raining blessings down with a slick rhyme trick. Virtual congregation, united in devotion. 1 year strong, a spiritual promotion. He's a life coach with divine instructions. Streaming holiness, no room for interruption. Flat cap changed the game, new pastoral fame. Virtual shepherd, he's embracing the mainframe. In the comments, affirmatives and amens. With each Goliath tackled, faith extends. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Yo, online sermons, holy vibes delivered. Spreading light, got the sinners reconsidered. Psalm to psalm, man's like a holy DJ. Flipping through scripture, repping the Yahweh. Your emotes in the chat, praising the message. Flat cap on point, teaching eternal lessons. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick. Raining blessings down with a slick rhyme trick. Virtual congregation, united in devotion. 1 year strong, a spiritual promotion. He's a life coach with divine instructions. Streaming holiness, no room for interruption. Flat cap changed the game, new pastoral fame. Virtual shepherd, he's embracing the mainframe. In the comments, affirmatives and amens. With each Goliath tackled, faith extends. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. 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 Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick. Raining blessings down with a slick rhyme trick.
flat cap pastor dashing through pages. Chronicles, Gospels, prophets, sages. Leviticus, laws to Paul's fine phrases. Turning them corners, your spiritual mazes. Genesis to Revelation, so divine. Flip them scripts, endless grace you'll find. Psalms singing sweet, unbroken lines. Hitting that rhythm, wordplay refined. Anybody in here blessed? Anybody in here blessed? Bible in 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? Wake up early, the dawn's light shimmers. Spiritual breakfast, soul food dinners. Isaiah's vision, Ezekiel's figures. Walk through the fire, no one limbers. Kings and judges, prophets profound. Plowing the word, no mythical ground. Verse after verse, wisdom's bound. Heavenly soundtrack, soul serving sound. Anybody in here blessed? Anybody in here blessed? Bible in 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? No shortcuts, all divine routes. Listen to the whispers, no room for doubt. Parables drop stronger than gold faucets. Souls hydrated from divine prophets. Study the book, change perspectives. Carefully crafted, not too subjective. A year to reflect, learning perfect. Patterns of grace that time can't deflect. Old Testament drops deep and so real. Kings and warriors, covenant seals. Split that Red Sea, divine reveal. Commandments written, not made of steel. Bethlehem birth to cross on the hill. Unfolding the never blessings, pastor with skill. Scripture flip, every verse fulfilled.
Through the word, every verse, every chapter, nothing unheard. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Yo, online sermons, holy vibes delivered. Spreading light, got the sinners reconsidered. Psalm to psalm, man's like a holy DJ. Flipping through scripture, repping the Yahweh. Your emotes in the chat, praising the message. Flat cap on point, teaching eternal lessons. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick. Raining blessings down with a slick rhyme trick. Virtual congregation, united in devotion. 1 year strong, a spiritual promotion. He's a life coach with divine instructions. Streaming holiness, no room for interruption. Flat cap changed the game, new pastoral fame. Virtual shepherd, he's embracing the mainframe. In the comments, affirmatives and amens. With each Goliath tackled, faith extends. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Yo, online sermons, holy vibes delivered. Spreading light, got the sinners reconsidered. Psalm to psalm, man's like a holy DJ. Flipping through scripture, repping the Yahweh. Your emotes in the chat, praising the message. Flat cap on point, teaching eternal lessons. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick. Raining blessings down with a slick rhyme trick. Virtual congregation, united in devotion. 1 year strong, a spiritual promotion. He's a life coach with divine instructions. Streaming holiness, no room for interruption. Flat cap changed the game, new pastoral fame. Virtual shepherd, he's embracing the mainframe. In the comments, affirmatives and amens. With each Goliath tackled, faith extends. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. 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 Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Follower.
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well. Let me get some background music here. Just realizing that's not going, but that's all right. as we had the intro song going, so we did not need the background song until now. Just JD, how you doing, friend? Hope you are doing well. Come on. I hate when you're trying to grab the edge of something and it just, like, it's there for a brief second, you can't grab it. Hope everything is going good, my friend. Hope you are well. Hope the days are going good for you. We got snow. We got more snow. We got to blow the snow, and there we go. Trying to think if there's anything else thinking that I might want to share. I don't think there is. I do not. So let's figure out what we're doing today. Start with changing that. And scroll on down and capture that. I love when it says the right thing, but it's no longer showing because it's not there. So, all right, we'll be in John 9 today. I'm going to hide a couple more of these rows because they're getting long there in the middle. Here we go, hide rows. Okay. And we're doing Exodus 20. Ooh, we got 10 commandments tomorrow. 10? I count them 10. Not 15. Oops, dropped one. 10 commandments. Okay, so we're in John 9. John 9. That's where we want to be. All right, Artsy Bible Nerd, hello. Freight Train, hello. Hope you're doing well. What a fun emote there, Freight Train. That is a fun emote there. Artsy, how are you doing, friend? Hope your lead up to Christmas and the holiday season is going well, my friend. All right. As you can see, you got a couple of podcasts coming up. Got a podcast tomorrow with Annika's Cakery. So that'll be fun. And then the following week, Night Saber. And I have come up with, and I'm working on the rebranding of the podcast. So instead of the gaming podcast, I think these will be the final 2 episodes with that name. I think that's what it's going to be. And then it'll be into Christmas week, and right around there, I think I might just not plan any podcast for that time, take a short hiatus, and then come back in January with the rebrand, which is going to be Control Alt Redeem. Control Alt Redeem. Redeeming spaces in the digital where maybe they're toxic and they need to be redeemed. And maybe there's people that are in those spaces and they need to be redeemed. So that's going to be the new name for my podcast. I'm kind of excited about that. So you're doing well, Artsy? Good to hear that, friend. Let's look at what Pass the Cap is going to be. So we do a thing called Pass the Cap. When there's someone who has a need, we try to help and contribute to them, because if we've been blessed, we want to contribute to others to be a blessing to them. So right now, Curly Fit Gamer has a lot of stuff going on in her life, going through a divorce, trying to figure out being a single mom and a streamer, and figure out income streams and all of that, and cover costs for being a lawyer. So if you are able to help Curly Fit Gamer, that's who we are contributing to this week. So All right. Let's get over to John. Let's check my other computer there. Oh, by the way, when we go to fish, I will mention, but I think I had, yeah, poor Curly. Yeah, I know. I have a couple of friends right now going through divorce, and it can be difficult. One of the things I would just encourage you, if you have a friend who's going through divorce, do not ask them questions unless they open the conversation in this direction. Well, can it be fixed? And what have you done? And all, like, most of the time, in my experience, one person has been trying to work on it, and the other person hasn't. And then that person who's been working on it gets tired of working on it. Even if the other person suddenly begins to work on it, it's like, it's too late. You waited too long. It'd be like if you are running a car with no oil on it and you're trying to fix everything else on the car and you finally decide to put oil in it after the engine seizes up. It's too late. It's too late. So most of the time, by the time one person decides to say that, hey, I want a divorce, it's been 6 months to a year that they have been thinking about it, planning for it, preparing for it, and it's very, very, very difficult at that point to restore a divorce. It's very rarely that you have one argument and you say, I want a divorce, and it goes forward that quickly. That has not been my experience. I'm not saying that can't happen. So I'm just saying, don't approach it from blaming the person. Don't approach it from, hey, haven't you tried stuff? Just do what Job's friends should have, and just mourn with those who mourn and weep with those who weep, and just come alongside of and provide care for the person that you know. That's my recommendation there. All right. So this is a really fascinating section we're going to get into here. Healing a man born blind. And the questions that the disciples ask are still the same ones that we keep asking today. Whose fault is this? We still do. We still ask those same questions. So, now as Jesus was passing by, he saw a man who had been blind from birth. His disciples asked him, Rabbi, who committed the sin that caused him to be born blind? This man or his parents? So here's the assumption that they're making and that we also make today. Now they're saying, who sinned that this man was born blind? So there is an understanding that something negative in the world, something less than being whole, is the result of sin. That's what they're assuming. And they're assuming it had to be either him or his parents, and they're trying to wrestle through that. So here's a weird thing. How can you be born blind if it's your sin? Like, that's my thought. Like, is it punishment for a future sin that you will commit, and so you are going to be blind before you even are born because you did some sin before you even had life? And I mean life outside the womb. I'm not arguing when life starts. I'm saying a life and consciousness and all that. Art Pibble, welcome in. Good morning. Like that would seem to make, well, God a monster for punishing you before, which is funny because I was just watching the final episode of Star Trek, whatever the newer one on Paramount is called, where they're going back to pre-Kirk, and they have effect can happen before cause. Effect can happen before cause, and that's exactly what they're making the assumption here is the effect of what you're going to do happens before the cause to cause it, or as parents. And the assumption that they're making is that anything that happens bad to you is caused by God. So then you can be blamed for it. So when someone, like we were just talking about, someone who's going through a divorce, what did you do? It's your fault. You have something bad happen. You're unemployed. You're homeless. Like this is where we get into the business of we don't have to care for people because it's their own fault they're in that situation. That's what they're doing, and that's what we do. Hey, it's LB51. Good morning. How is everyone today? Doing well. I do not know who number 17 is there. Is there a specific player that is, or is that just a random football player emote? I can't think of any 17s, but I don't follow much. Josh Allen. Okay. Just funny because I actually watched about 10-15 minutes of the Bengals and the Bills yesterday. I guess I should have picked that up. I don't watch NFL unless a team that I could root for or used to root for makes it to the Super Bowl. Then I'll watch the Super Bowl. I don't even get to the point of I care about the Super Bowl anymore. Castor Troy, the 2-part ending of Star Trek Next Generation? No, not Next Generation. No. Pre-Captain Kirk, whatever the new one is called. Castor Troy, welcome in. By the way, friend, I can't remember what it's called. So it's boy, I cannot think of the name of the captain. I'm horrible with names on shows. I just watch them and I know them by their face and I don't pay attention to. So it's Enterprise before Captain Kirk is even a captain. Captain Pike. That's it. Thank you, Artsy Bible Nerd. Yeah, so I watched the end of that, which was really interesting. They had the 2-part, I think it was a 2-part end. They have the same concept in both then haven't. Yeah, but it's an interesting concept of you can have the effect happen before the cause, which is essentially what they're saying here. I hadn't even thought about that until I was thinking about how it would end up happening. Ice cream. Ooh. Cake batter ice cream. Don't think I want that. I don't like cake. And if it's cake batter, it's not even cooked. Ooh. All right, I'm almost over my cough, but feeling just a little tingle this morning, so grab a cough drop in case you hear that rattling around or clinking on my teeth, just letting you know. That's what it is. Art Pibble, you can absolutely have the ice cream. Okay. So they're making an assumption. Hey, millions of peaches. Ah, it's awesome. There we go. I'll take that. Thank you. It wasn't I was refusing. It was just like I was actually thinking about what cake batter. I've never heard of cake batter ice cream. And what it would actually taste like. Okay. The man born blind or his parents are the cause of it. Jesus answered, neither this man nor his parents sinned. That's where we just need to end the conversation on some level. When someone has something bad going on in their life, oh, you just got fired. Oh, your parents died. Oh, you got into a car accident. Oh, you were mugged. Oh, your house got destroyed in whatever natural disaster. Oh, well, you must have done something to deserve it. We need to stop. Because neither this man nor his parents sinned. No, the world is filled with evil, right? I think it is. The world is filled with bad, and bad things happen. So there's where we need to stop. Now, Jesus goes further, but he was born blind so that the acts of God may be revealed through what happens to him. Okay, this is where I think maybe the English isn't as good, and I wouldn't go with a natural translation here because it makes it sound like God made him born blind, not because of sin, but so that God would wait until Jesus showed up so Jesus could heal him. No, I don't think that's what this is saying. I think what this is saying is, regardless of the state of why he is blind and why he was born blind, God's love is going to be revealed through the act that I'm going to do now. So regardless of up to this point, I'm going to do something that is going to be miraculous, that is going to be a blessing to everyone around. So, see, I think when we read it otherwise, we're like, oh, well, God just made him blind so that when Jesus showed up 30 years later, he could be healed. Like, that just still sounds like a horrible God creating blind people so Jesus can heal them. I'm like, why would God want that? That doesn't make sense from a level of, if you're trying to say God is love. That doesn't sound like, it doesn't feel like love. So I think we carry that too far when we say it that way. And I think but he was born blind so that the acts of God may be revealed. He has been born blind, and now the acts of God are going to be able to be revealed. So it's the difference between what Joseph says of you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. There was still the act of evil that preceded the act of redeeming it that God is doing. I hope that makes sense. That's what I'm trying to point out there. It's that kind of idea. Okay, we must perform the deeds of the one who sent me as long as it is daytime. Night is coming when no one can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. All right. We'll pause there. We got ad breaks coming in. So, Zack Attack, good morning. Gonna go to the fish here. I'll answer your question when we come back in case you're at ad breaks. Artsy. So the fish pond, I rescued, and I say that loosely, I rescued most of the small fish out of the pond because I have some kind of leak in the pond and it will not hold water. I don't know what happened, and it's the wrong time of year to work on or fix that. So rescued the small fish out of the pond. There's still maybe a dozen fish in there that are larger that hopefully will work and live in the foot of water that's still in the pond. And they're in the back room, so you can see them on the fish cam on the Fish Channel.
With his cam, he shows it all. Little fish, both big and small. Life in ponds so serene. Nature's beauty on a screen. See the ripples, watch the flow. Hear the music, gentle glow. Flat caps charm and calming tone makes the fish feel right at home. Watch the fish, they swim along to the rhythm of his song. Flat cat pasture shows the way. Stream it live, come what may.
All right, what verse was that? The so that is in verse 3. Okay. So your question is it a translation issue or a cultural issue? I think it's our cultural issue, but it's also translation. That's why I'm going to go look here. Because I believe it should just the problem is the way that we're translating it into English makes it sound like cause effect. And I don't think that's the right way to see it. Because Jesus makes a point of saying, your assumption of cause effect, it's neither. It's neither. I'll give you a different reason. But we're saying they were asking a question of cause effect, so then Jesus is still answering what's the cause effect. And I don't think that's what he's doing. So Allah Hina. See, here's I was thinking there was going to be a Kai in there. And this is the problem with, it probably has more nuance. Thank you for the hug of the, okay. Allah.
Strong's G 235. Allah. Allah.
Okay, so we have but, which nevertheless, notwithstanding, an objection, an exception, a restriction, rather, moreover. So it's not that. It will be this, but we're saying like they asked a cause effect question. So we're thinking that when Jesus says it's this, it's still
Strong's G
cause effect.
2443. Hina. Hina.
Okay. In order that, so what I'm getting at is when you read it this way, and it doesn't matter which translation you look in English, it's he was born blind so that the acts of God might be revealed. But the point is like, but he was born blind so that he was born blind, and now that's how I would want to translate it. He was born blind. End of story. And now the acts of God are going to be able to be revealed through what happens to him. Because they asked a cause-effect question, we read the so that is he was born blind, had to hang out for 30 years, whatever it is, and maybe it says his age later. He had to be blind for 30 to 40 years so God could be revealed. And that sounds manipulative. It sounds less than loving. And I don't think that that's a proper way to see it. He was born blind. Stop. Now, through this man, God is going to be revealed because we're going to redeem his blindness. When we put the so that, it sounds like, well, I shall blind you and have you blind for no reason, and you have to go through life with that for no reason, and later I'll heal you. Which just sounds really, which is one of the things why when you talk to atheists, like one of the biggest things is evil in the world. It really is. And this makes it sound like an evil God on some level. And I just want to think through that whole process. Okay, I know I'm spending a lot of time on this, but I don't think we often do. We just rush to the end of the story because let's go back to Joseph, if Joseph was supposed to be thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, become a prisoner in jail so that he could become the second in command only to Pharaoh, it sounds like a horrible thing. And he doesn't say, God meant it to be this way. No, you meant it for evil, my brothers. God turned it for good. Even if he says God meant it for good, he turned it for good. So it's the cause of evil in the world can go in one direction and God can redeem it. Yeah, and Artsy, most people who are born blind never get healed. Absolutely. But Jesus, or by surgery or any other reason. Yeah. Art Pibble, glad we're talking about that. It's sometimes something brought up in a Bible study one time, and it's hard thing to explain how the wording can be taken so differently. Yeah, and the thing is like I said, it's not that this is an inaccurate translation of so that, okay? But we read into it the fact they're asking a cause-effect question. So when Jesus answers, he says neither, okay? It's not what you're thinking. It's not cause-effect at all, I think is what he's saying. So then when we translate it, we still could lead in direction, oh, it's a different cause-effect. And I think Jesus is saying, no, it's not cause-effect. It's the state that he was is just the way he was born. That's what happens in the world. People are born certain ways, and God's not up there dispensing blind kids to parents who are so loving they can handle a blind kid. And you're not dispensing deaf kids to people who are so loving they can handle deaf kids. No, The world is corrupt, and the body gets corrupted, and people are born less than with all of the capacities that they, as a human being, could have with their physical capacities, mental capacities, any of those things. They can happen. But God can redeem them. That's the bigger point, I think, that's going on here. All right. We'll keep going. I think I've belabored this a lot. And for reasons. Okay. Saribot won. How can the bot win? We must perform the deeds of the one who sent me as long as it's... Oh, I read that. We're down to 6. Having said this, he spat on the ground and made some mud with saliva. Now, maybe you don't know this. There is a whole bunch of stuff in the ancient world with saliva being powerful and having restorative and healing properties. But this is the only healing we have where Jesus uses this. But he doesn't just get mud. He spits on the mud. Oh, and if we're thinking mud, wait a minute. Didn't God form out of the dust of the ground man? So Jesus is, in order to take and heal the man, he is taking the dust of the ground. I don't care if it's called mud. I don't care if it's called clay. I don't think that matters. He is taking the ground. He is spitting on it. He smeared the mud on the blind man's eyes and said to him, "Go, wash in the pool of Siloam," which translated sent. So the blind man went away and washed and came back seeing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this isn't the only time, because I thought there was one that was a 2-stage healing. Maybe it's told differently. In Genesis 49, the somewhat obscure Shiloh was interpreted messianically by the Jewish leader tradition, and some have a lexical connection between the two names of Shiloh and Siloam. Although this is somewhat dubious, it is known, however, that it was from the pool of Siloam that the water which was poured on the altar during the Feast of Tabernacles was drawn. Okay, so Feast of Tabernacles, okay, where you live in booths, where you are celebrating and remembering that God has brought you out of slavery. Well, this guy is slavery to blindness on some level, so he's going there to be healed of blindness. The dust of the ground is used to heal the man. Yeah, it depends on what culture you're in. And there are actually some cultures, I think it might be Mark's gospel. Now, there's reasons why Mark's gospel is often the first one translated into new languages. One, it's the shortest, but also there are some, when you have or I should say cultures that are not modernized, and they are going to be more naturalistic, thinking about they live in the wild and they do other things. Mark's gospel has a whole lot of those trappings and are easy for them to connect and associate with. So it depends on what culture, what acts they would think that saliva was part of, but yeah. Yeah, animals use saliva a lot to heal themselves and increase the health of their young, so it makes sense, yeah. Yeah, and it would depend on which culture and how much they would use it, or if it, I don't remember if I've seen if it was used in any kind of ritual magic or cult worship of other gods, but it could have been. So he goes and he washes, he's obedient. Now, we just read past this. How did the blind man get to the pool? Who took him there? Did the blind man know which direction it was, and could he have gone on his own? It's just like, yeah, he went and he got it and he came back. You could see. Yeah, that's the ticket. He went away blind. Yeah. And then he washed in the pool. And, yeah, he could see then. Yeah. All right, Danny gets dimes. Good deal. Then the neighbors and the people who had seen him previously as a beggar began saying, "Is this not the man he used to sit and beg?" Some people said, "This is the man," while others said, "Nah, he just looks like him." The man himself kept insisting, "I am the one. I'm the man. No, I'm the man." Sorry. So they asked him, "How then are you made to see?" The man replied, "The man called Jesus made mud, smeared it on my eyes, and told me go to Siloam and wash. So I went and washed and was able to see." I love how the blind man is sent away. He knows the name of the person who healed him, but he doesn't know who he is. And now he's gone home, and his friends and family are like, "Nah, man, you can't be the man. You're not blind no more." Well, like, think about it. Artsy was bringing this up earlier. Like, who's ever heard of someone being born blind being healed of blindness? It's not the thing. So you're going to just go, "Man, I know he looks like him, but it can't be him. It can't. No, nobody can heal blindness. That ain't a thing." So he said to him, "Where is that man?" He replied, "IDK. IDK." They brought the man who used to be blind to the Pharisees. Now the day on which Jesus made the mud and caused him to see was the Sabbath. Oh, BT Dubs, it's Sabbath. Oh no, Jesus, are you healing on the Sabbath again? Why do you keep doing that? We've had a lot of those arguments over, is it lawful or loving to heal on the Sabbath? Do it. So the Pharisees asked him again how he gained his sight. He replied, "He put mud on my eyes, and I washed, and now I am able to see." Like, okay, the story's not hard. It's not difficult. He made mud. He put it on my eyes. I washed. I can see. Would you like mud on your eyes? I can help you out here. I can help you out. Then some of the Pharisees began to say, "This man is not from God because he does not observe the Sabbath." But others said, "How can a man who is a sinner perform such miraculous signs?" Thus there was division among them. So again they asked the man who used to be blind, "What do you say about him, since he caused you to see?" "He is a prophet," the man replied. Like the simplest answer you can say. Like, okay, he's healing on the Sabbath. He can't be from God because he's disobeying the Sabbath. But wait, how could a sinner perform miracles that no one has ever seen? I mean, yeah, okay. So let's ask the man who had it happen on him. He's a prophet. Like, how else would you answer this? I mean, like, you're arguing about something that seems self-evident. Now, the Jewish religious leaders refused to believe that he had really been blind and had gained his sight until at last they summoned the parents of the man who had become able to see. Prophets in their past were also sinners. True that. Lucis, the VeggieTales voices are very active in the stream today. So if you've never seen a person born blind, you want proof that the friends or the people that know the blind man bring him to the Pharisees because he can now see. So they're bringing him to the Pharisees, which means this is a religious problem. Why is it a religious problem? Because the healing took place on the Sabbath. Now we're trying to get to the bottom of it. And now, wait a minute. Maybe this is all just a fraud. Maybe he wasn't actually blind. Maybe he's trying to perpetrate a fraud. Will we bring his parents in? Yeah, that's it. We'll bring his parents in. They'll be able to tell us. So his parents replied, "We know that this is our son and that he was born blind, but we do not know how he is now able to see, nor do we know who caused him to see. Ask him, he is a mature adult. He will speak for himself." Okay, now this just seems like a natural answer to be able to give. Like, we weren't there. He's told the story. Why you asking us? Yeah, we can testify. It's our son. Yeah, he was born blind. The end. But his parents said these things because they were afraid of the Jewish religious leaders. For the Jewish leaders were already agreed that anyone who confessed Jesus to be the Christ would be put out of the synagogue. Okay, I still think their answer is pretty close to the same. Maybe they won't defer to him as much and say, hey, ask him, he's an adult. Maybe that part is a passing the buck. I don't want to get caught up in this thing. So that's why John is saying that. But I still think their answer could have been very similar, and it could have had not the same reasons. For this reasons, his parents said, he's a mature adult, ask him. See, that's what it emphasizes is that's why they don't go on and tell the story that he's told them. They just go, ask him. We can vouch for his blindness. We can't vouch for his healing, and we're not even going to relay the story. Ask him the story. Then they summoned the man who was born blind a second time and said to him, okay, so he's not there when the parents are. So when we have to think about how they do this. When they bring a witness in, the others don't remain in the courtroom, so to speak. They go out, and then they come back. And they go out, and they come back. Are you asking if you want cream cheese icing, or are you asking why it's not on there? It wasn't mentioned. I would assume that it could be on carrot cake or Black Forest cake. I don't even know what Black Forest cake is. Is that the one that's got the chocolate and then like the cherry on top or something? That might be the right one I'm thinking. Yep, okay. Promise before God to tell the truth. We know that this man is a sinner. Oh, you're just being goofy with Lucis. Okay. I thought maybe something was wrong with the command. He replied, I do not know whether he is a sinner. Okay, like that is a strange statement. Like, we know this man's a sinner. Tell us the truth. He couldn't have done it. He's a sinner. It's like, I don't know whether he's a sinner. I don't know him. Like, he showed up. He healed me. Like, what am I? Like, yeah, okay. I do know one thing, that although I was blind, now I can see. It's like, this is really simple, guys. I was blind, now I can see. I can't tell you nothing else. I told you how. You didn't like that answer. You want to know about him? I told you I think he's a prophet. Like, he, you know. Then they said to him, what did he do to you? How did he cause you to see? He answered, I told you already, and you didn't listen. I love this. He's getting peeved. Like, why am I in court? I was the one healed. Why am I here? Why are you stirring up problems? He like, I done told you already. You asked me everything, and I done told you. Why do you want to hear it again? You people don't want to be his disciples too, do you? I don't know if this is genuine. Hey, is this what you want to be his disciples? Is that it? Is that it? Oh, that's why you want to know so you can be his disciples. Is this guy genuinely thinking that? Or is he being antagonistic? You people don't want to be his disciples, do you? Like, I'm going to plant that seed in front of all the people. Yeah, I know how to get out of this situation. I don't know which way it is. This is like, tone of voice. Oh, I wish I knew which way it was. Is this a genuine curiosity of, maybe you're asking so many questions because you want to be his disciples? Or, man, you guys are so dense and you're so hard-hearted. I'm going to embarrass you in front of everybody by accusing you of wanting to be his disciples. Like, which way is it? I don't know. And They heaped insults on him, saying, "You are his disciple. We are disciples of Moses. We know that God has spoken to Moses. We do not know where this man comes from." The man replied, "This is a remarkable thing that you do not know where he comes from, and yet he caused me to see. We know that God doesn't listen to sinners, but if anyone is devout and does his will, God listens to him. Never before has anyone heard of someone causing a man born blind to see. If this man is not from God, he could do nothing." They replied, "You were born completely in sinfulness, and yet you presume to teach us." So they threw him out. I don't think this is just throwing him out of the court that's being held. He's thrown out of the synagogue. You're going to come at us, bro? You're gone. You're gone. Yeah, passive aggressive there. Absolutely. I think that's what it is. And boy, did they take the bait. They totally take the bait. I just think that's fun. Okay? I think he was stirring it up. I think he was shoving their faces in it. He's like, there ain't no way this guy is anybody but a prophet, and you won't believe him. Like, what is wrong with you people? So he gets thrown out of the synagogue. Supersonic Cat Jam. All right, we got ads rolling in. Let me give you the BRB. The BRB. Yes, that's the screen for me. Standing up and I'm stretching now. So watch my BRB.
Pastor with a cheerful heart, no lie, preaching joy so high to the sky. He'll be right back, yes, he'll be right back. He'll be back in 2 or 3. Flat cat dapper, flat cat dapper. We'll be right back after this break. No mistake, joy they make. I'll be right back, yeah. We'll be right back in 2 or 3. Joy they make. I'll be right back, yes. I'll be right back in 2 or 3. Flat cat pastor rocks his tweed, streaming life by the reeds. Fish pond calm and glassy clear, view it all right.
Supersonic, you were asking about Waiwas. There you go. There's a peek at Waiwas. I was giving you the other screen this time. We did that last one, but there we go. Quick show that to you. All right. So Jesus heals a man, a healing that nobody else knows anyone who's ever been healed of the condition of which he is in. So I do not want to go in the direction of saying that this is all the plan and there's nothing else and that's what it is. It's despite the circumstances, here's what Jesus does. Here's what God does despite the circumstances of origin. I think that's what we should be thinking of. And I think Joseph is our example of that it was intended this way from these parties, and God redeemed it anyway. And now we're having an argument about how was this possible? And we certainly can't have a prophet like Moses who's doing it. Could we? No. We can't. No, couldn't be. So the man's thrown out. His parents are trying to avoid being thrown out. And the man obeyed what Jesus said, but he doesn't know who Jesus is. So Jesus heard that the man had been, they had thrown him out, so he found the man. Okay, I love this. He sends the man to be healed, and that's like, should be the end of it. But now he hears that the man is thrown out, like, hey, Jesus, that man that you healed, like they had a whole trial and they kicked him out of the synagogue. Because he incited them, he baited them because they were rejecting you. So, yeah, they threw him out. So he goes to, and he finds the man. He says to him, do you believe in the Son of Man? The man replied, and who is he, sir, that I may believe in him? So, like, do you believe in the Son of Man? What do we have in the footnote here? Although most witnesses have of God instead of man, here the better witnesses have man. Not only is the external evidence decidedly on the side of man, but it is difficult to see such early and diverse witnesses of man and God, or from God to man. The wording Son of Man is thus virtually certain. Okay. So even though there's a lot that say the Son of God, I would go and say, like, my argument would have been, what phrase does John usually use? Does he usually use Son of Man or Son of God? I believe Matthew is always Son of Man. I don't think he uses Son of God. The man replied, and who is he, sir, that I may believe in him? Jesus told him, you have seen him. He is the one speaking with you. He said, Lord, I believe, and he worshiped him. Jesus said, okay, wait a minute, let's just go. What do we have here in the footnotes? Assuming the authenticity of John 38:39a, see the note following the brackets, verse 39. Okay, that's what I want. So following the bracket, some early and significant witnesses lacked the words, he said, Lord, I believe, and he worshiped him. Jesus said, This is weighty evidence for the omission of these words. It is difficult to overstate the value of P75 here, since it is the only currently available papyrus manuscript extant for the text of John 9:38 and 39. Further, Alpha, that's Alpha, is a significant early Alexandrian witness for the omission. The versional testimony and Codex W also give strong support for the omission. Nearly all manuscripts, however, include these words. The omission may have been occasioned by a paraballips. Both 37 and 39 begin with Jesus said to him. So it's like if you're Scribble and you're copying and you miss a line because you started a word or a sentence here that said Jesus said, and then you start with Jesus said again, you miss the line in between. So we have 37 starts with Jesus told him, would it be Jesus said, and 39 Jesus said. So maybe you started with Jesus said and then you skipped ahead believing that you had already included it. Though it's difficult to account for such an error across such a wide variety of witnesses, on the other hand, the longer reading appears to be motivated by liturgical concerns. That's what I'm thinking. Since the verb worshipped is used. Yeah, that's the one that makes to me it sound like, somebody's had a motive here of worshiping God. And again, with the sense of 12:20, if the words were authentic here, this would be the only place in John's gospel where Jesus is explicit object of worship. Even if these words are not authentic, such an omission would nevertheless hardly diminish John's high Christology, nor the implicit worship of him by Thomas. Nevertheless, a decision is difficult, and the included words may reflect a very early tradition after the blind man's response to Jesus. So we have a really important one in P75 that is giving us evidence that it is there, but we've got a lot that do not. But we have a simple explanation if it's missed, but then how do all of them miss it? Yeah. Okay. So maybe he says this, maybe he doesn't. In this case, they left it in. So in layman terms, what are you talking about? Talking about this verse right here. Whether those words are in the original or not in the original. If you leave them out, Jesus is talking. Jesus told him, "You have seen him. He is the one speaking with you. For judgment I have come into the world, so that those who do not see may gain their sight, and the ones who see may become blind." So did a scribe or someone insert that the man said, "Lord, I believe," and he worshiped him, and then had to put Jesus said to go back to saying it? Or is that the original one, and some later copies, the scribe saw Jesus said and jumped to the wrong part and left out that verse? So that's the thing. They're feeling like, even though the majority are on one side, they're leaning towards it should be in there. And sometimes they go the other way. Because of the worship piece, I'm inclined to go, it feels like someone was motivated to add that piece in here later. So, but thanks for asking clarification. I know sometimes you get you can get lost when I read all these long footnotes about stuff. Okay. Some of the Pharisees who were with him heard this and asked him, "We are not blind too, are we?" Jesus replied, if you were blind, you would not be guilty of sin. But now, because you claim that you can see, your guilt remains. So the Pharisees are trying to say, "You're talking about us, and it's not correct. We can see." And so Jesus is like, you want to claim you can see, you're guilty. You're guilty then. You want to claim, think about it this way. If you're having an argument with a police officer about you knowing the law and then you understand the law, and you violated the law, he's going to go, "You're guilty, duh. Hello? What do you mean I'm guilty?" Well, you just said. All right. Moving on. I tell you the solemn truth. The one who does not enter the sheepfold by the door, but climbs in some other way, is a thief and a robber. And the one who enters by the door is... Sorry, all of a sudden I had fish splashing over there. The one who enters by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. The doorkeeper opens the door for him, and the sheep hear his voice. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. Okay, so if you have a sheepfold, the sheepfold is going to hold more sheep than one shepherd sheep. Like, if you've ever seen like the big cattle barns and they're going to be sold, like you bring in everybody's cattle into one place, okay? It'd be similar to kind of that thing. Like, you've got a whole, like, it might be a cave, it might be a fenced in area, whatever it is, you're going to bring your sheep in. You're going to bring them in for safekeeping, and other shepherds have done the same. And the gatekeeper knows you, so he's going to let you in. And what you're going to do is you're going to call your sheep. The sheep are going to know your voice. And when you leave, only your sheep will leave. The other sheep are not going to go and follow the stranger. They're only going to follow the shepherd that they know. And this is one of those places where John is going to be using a title for Jesus. I believe there are 7 titles that he uses for Jesus. Good Shepherd is going to be one of them. And there is going to be 7 different Greek Roman gods. They're going to have the same titles. And so, in essence, John is doing a couple of things here. One of those is saying, oh, you have all those gods with all those titles and to do all of those things, to provide all of those things. You have them all divided. We have one man who does all of that. We have the Messiah who does all of those things together. We don't have to have 7 different people. We don't. It's just one. Okay, he leads them out. When he has brought all his own sheep out, he goes ahead of them, and the sheep follow him because they recognize his voice. They will never follow a stranger, but will run away from him because they do not recognize the stranger's voice. Jesus told them a parable, but they did not understand what he was saying to them. T. West, morning, you dapper man. Thank you, friend. Okay, so has Jesus left the situation here? We have no introduction to a new situation. He is around the man who was born blind, and some Pharisees show up and confront him, and now we're into a teaching here. Jesus said, again, I tell you the solemn truth. I am the door for the sheep. Okay, so he shifted from the good shepherd to the door. All who come before me were thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not listen to them. I am the door. If anyone enters through me, he will be saved and will come in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come so that you may have life and have it abundantly. This is not future life. You may have life and have it abundantly, have it to the full. Let me see what they have in the footnote. That is more than one would normally expect or anticipate. His purpose for being here is that you may have life and have it to the full, have it abundantly, have it more than expected. That's not a future, that is have in the present. You may have life and have it abundantly. I wonder if let's look at verse 10. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong. What are we in? We're in John 10. John 10:10. Okay. Yeah, see, it's a present tense verb. Have it now. That's what we needed. Present tense verb that you may have life. You're going to have it. And that you may have present active. Have it abundantly. This is present tense verbs. Present tense, not future tense. Okay? They're present active. They're not passive. It is active upon you. You are going to have life, and you're going to have it to the full. You're going to have it abundantly in the present. This is not future hope of resurrection life. This is not future hope of heaven. He has come for the present time. We need to remember that. Jesus says he has come for the very present time for us to have abundant life, not future. T-West, I started your day by forgetting to put coffee pot back in. Oh no, when you hit the brew button. Yikes. Well, my dishwasher has an error code which says it has a leak. I can find no leak, and I need to do some more work on trying to get that running today. So we'll see. Moving on to, so we're returning back to, so he gave the introduction of a good shepherd. He went to, I am the door. Now he is going to return to, I am the good shepherd. So he gave the description of it. Now he's returning to it. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. Like, I'm sorry, what? The good shepherd might defend the sheep, but I don't think the shepherd should die for the sheep. That don't make no sense. Yeah, the idea of a dishwasher having an error code is upsetting. Yeah, I was quite disappointed, and I watched a video, and I'll work on it later. I started working on it yesterday. Tried to do an easier route. Yeah, mood, exactly. Okay. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. That doesn't sound like it's really a good shepherd, because let's just say this. If I die, the sheep have no one to follow. The sheep won't follow somebody else's voice. The sheep with the shepherd dead are not benefited. Just think through that logically. We've already had that the sheep will only go out when they hear the shepherd's voice. Only the shepherd will they follow. Now, I don't know how that works when we got Joseph and his brothers, and you've got Dad, which used to. Jacob did all of the work. That they can have more than one whose voice they will follow, perhaps. I don't know. I don't really know how that works. But if it is that, hey, I'm the only one that they'll follow and I'm dead, the sheep are just easy prey now. So I understand, so that's why it's like, what is he really saying? What is he saying? The hired hand who is not the shepherd does not own the sheep. Seeing the wolf coming, he abandons the sheep and runs away. So that's the point. The hired hand is going to abandon the sheep. Let the wolf have one or two. The shepherd is going to defend the sheep to the point he is willing to risk his life for the sheep. So the wolf attacks and the sheep scatters them. Because he is a hired hand and he is not concerned about the sheep, he runs away. I am the good shepherd. I know my own, and my own know me, just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father. This is experiential, relational, okay? And I lay down my life for the sheep. I have other sheep that do not come from this sheepfold. Okay, so now he shifted. I have other sheep that do not come from the sheepfold. So which sheepfold would this be? This would be Israel. There is a sheepfold of Israel, and he has another sheepfold that you don't know about. The statement, I have other sheep that do not come from the sheepfold, almost certainly refers to the Gentiles. Jesus has sheep in the fold who are Jewish. There are other sheep while not of the same fold belong to him. This recalls the mission of the Son Excuse me. I don't know why I'm yawning today. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. So their footnote just explains what I said. I must bring them too, and they will listen to my voice. Again, they will listen to my voice because they're my sheep. So that there will be one flock and one shepherd. This is why the Father loves me, because I lay down my life so that I may take it back up again. So, he's going to take it back up. So he is laying it down and he's taking it up. No one takes it away from me, but I lay it down. Lay it down. Lay it down. Lay it down now, baby. Sorry. On my own free will. What do we have there? I think it should just be of my own volition. Of my own accord. Yeah. It's my, yeah. I have the authority to lay it down, and I have the authority to take it back up again. This command I received from my Father. So he can lay down and take it up. Another sharp division took place among the Jewish people. Because so we finally switched to a new motif. So all of that teaching was on the end of the healing of the man born blind. About whose sheep you are. About whose shepherd you follow. About which flock you are in. And they're worried about other stuff. Okay. Another sharp division took place among the Jewish people because of these words. Many of them were saying, he is possessed by a demon and has lost his ever-loving mind. Why do you listen to him? Others said, these are not the words of someone possessed by a demon. A demon cannot cause the blind to see, can it? See, we're still on the conversation about the man born blind. We have not left the occasion. We have it folded up here in the end. So after the healing of the blind man, after the court case, after the conversation with him, we have teaching. Then came the feast of dedication in Jerusalem. It was winter. And Jesus was walking in the temple area in Solomon's portico. Solomon's portico was a covered walkway formed by rows of columns supporting a roof and open on the inner side facing the center of the temple complex. This is also where the disciples hang out after the resurrection. So, all right, we got ads going to be coming in. Let's go take a look at the fish today. Check out the lake. Check out the lake. All the waves there, and you can start to see the iceberg, the ice forming at the water's edge there is forming.
Fish pond calm and glassy clear, view it all right from here. Dapper man with sax in hand plays tunes by his quiet land. Acoustic guitar in the breeze serenades the fish with ease. Watch the fish, they swim along to the rhythm of his song. Flatcat Pastor shows the way, stream it live come what may. With his cam he shows it all, little fish both big and small. Life in ponds so serene, nature's beauty on a screen. See the ripples, watch the flow, hear the music, gentle glow. Flat cap's charm and calming tone makes the fish feel right at home. Watch the fish, they swim along to the rhythm of his song. Flat Cat Pastor shows the way, Stream it live, come what may. Refuse Cammy shows it all. Little fish, both big and small. Life in ponds so serene. Nature's beauty on a screen. See the ripples, watch the flow. Hear the music, gentle glow. Flat caps charm, calming tone makes the fish feel right at home. Watch the fish, they swim along to the rhythm of his song. Flat Cap Pasture shows the way. Stream it live, come what may.
I don't know if you can see there, right above the
Flat Cap
fish
Pasture rocks his tween.
at the
Streaming life by the reeds.
see the sun
Calming, glassy,
just starting to peek
view
through
it
the
all
clouds
right
there.
from here.
Or sorry, the trees, not the clouds, the trees.
Dapper
Sun's
man
just
with
coming.
sax in hand plays tunes by his quiet land. Acoustic guitar in the breeze serenades
Anyway,
the fish with ease.
back to the Bible.
Watch the fish.
So we've got Jesus in the temple. Got Jesus in the temple. He was around by a synagogue, and the man got kicked out of the synagogue. Now he's going to be by the temple. The Jewish leaders surrounded him and asked, "How long will you keep us in suspense? If if you are the Christ, tell us plainly." He's keeping you in suspense. I'm sorry? What? What? He's keeping you in suspense? How long will you take away our life? An idiom which meant to keep one from coming to the conclusion about something. The use of the phrase, meaning to keep us in suspense, is not well attested, although it certainly fits in the context. The modern Greek, the phrase to annoy or bother. Okay. Jesus replied, "I told you, and you do not believe. The deeds I do in my Father's name testify about me. But you refuse to believe, because you are not my sheep." He's returning to the sheep image. "My sheep listen to my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. I give them eternal life, and they will never perish. No one will snatch them from my hand. My Father who has given them to me is greater than all, and no one can snatch them from my Father's hand. The Father and I are one." Ooh. The phrase is significant assertion with Trinitarian implications. N is neuter, not masculine, so the assertion is not that Jesus and the Father are one person, but one thing. Identity of two persons is not what is asserted, but essential unity of essence. Okay. My sheep hear my voice. My Father gave them to me. They will have eternal life. No one can take them away from me. No one can take them away from the Father. The Jewish leaders picked up rocks again to stone him to death. So why? The Father and I are one. He has just made a claim of equality with God. Jesus said to them, "I have shown you my good deeds from the Father. For which one of them are you going to stone me?" So we need words for you to tell us that you are the Messiah. Can you just say it to us plainly? Sure. I did a whole bunch of miracles. You didn't pay attention, but they were sent to me so my sheep would hear, and my sheep are coming, and nobody can take my sheep away because my Father gave me the sheep, and if I'm holding them, you can't take them, and if I'm holding them, you can't take them from the Father. You got us to deal with, and I and the Father are one. Yeah. Now, whoa. We said answer plainly. That's too plain. Jesus said to them, I have shown you my good deeds. For which one are you going to stone me? The Jewish leaders replied, we're not going to stone you for a good deed, but for blasphemy, because you, a man, are claiming to be God. Okay, so for any of those people that you run into that say that Jesus never claims to be God, they are going to stone him because they believe he's just made that claim. I and the Father are one. Okay? So you don't need our modern way of saying for Jesus to go, I am God. We don't need that. They understood what he said in the context of which he said it. They're going to stone him because of what he said. Now, if that's not what he meant, his defense should be, whoa, you heard me wrong. You heard me wrong. Let's see what he says. Jesus answered, is it not written in your law? I said, you are gods. Okay, that's going to be, is that Psalm? Yes, Psalm 82. Psalm 82. If, those people to whom the word of God came were called gods, and the scripture cannot be broken, do you say about the one whom the Father set apart and sent into the world, you are blaspheming because you said, I am the Son of God? So, I know Scripture. Scripture said you are gods, and I'm the Son of God, and you're going to say I'm blaspheming because I said I am the Son of God? If, if I do not perform the deeds of my Father, do not believe me. But if, if I do them, even if, you do not believe me, believe my deeds, so that you may come to know and understand that I am in the Father and the Father is in me. So just look at my deeds and you'll understand. You don't like my words telling you that? Fine, don't believe my words. Watch my deeds. Like Jesus almost like, here, hold my tea. Hold my tea. Let me go show you something. Then they attempted again to seize him, but he escaped their clutches. So they want to seize him. They want to kill him. Why? Claiming equality with God, claiming to be God. Jesus went back across the Jordan again to the place where John had been baptizing at an earlier time, and he stayed there. Many came to him and began to say, John performed no miraculous signs, but everything John said about this man was true. And many believed in Jesus there. So Jesus now escapes, goes across the Jordan to where John had been baptizing, where John did no miracles, only preaching. And now people are going to start to believe that Jesus is who he is when they go out to him. Interesting. I apologize. I do not know why I'm yawning so much today. All right. Now a certain man named Lazarus was sick. He was from Bethany, the village where Mary and Martha, her sister, lived. Now it was Mary who had anointed the Lord with perfume and wiped his feet dry with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. Okay, what does Lazarus mean? Lazarus. Lazarus.
Strong's G 2976. Lazarus. Lazarus.
Whom God helps. It's a form of the Hebrew Eleazar. So like it's Eleazar, Lazarus, Eleazar. So it's kind of like trying to make it more of a Greek name, Lazarus, from Eleazar. I just heard on a podcast, this was interesting. RC Bible, if you're here, you might find this interesting. There is an argument that Lazarus is the disciple whom Jesus loved instead of John. Now, John does talk about the one whom Jesus loved. And there's a couple of places where I feel like, that messes the story up if it's Lazarus. But in some ways, some of the things, the insights, if Lazarus, after being raised from the dead, is the one whom Jesus loved, because here he demonstrates it by coming to him and talking about his love for Lazarus and his weeping over him. That would make sense that Lazarus could be the disciple whom Jesus loved. But the fact that is Lazarus ever mentioned to be traveling with Jesus makes it a little hard for me to say I think it is. But it was an interesting thing to think about. Okay. Okay. We're at verse 3. So the sister sent a message to Jesus. Lord, look, the one you love is sick. See, here's another reason why. The one you love. The one you love, not the disciple you love. When Jesus heard this, he said, this sickness will not lead to death, but to God's glory, so that the Son of Man may be glorified through it. Now, Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. Okay, why do we have a footnote? Is that just going to tell me it's a parenthesis? This is a parenthetical note by the author. It was necessary for the author to reaffirm Jesus' love for Martha and her sister and Lazarus here because his actions in the following verse appear to be contradictory. No, I don't think it does. No, I don't think it had to be. It already said the one whom he loved. It's expanding it. It's expanding it from saying he loved Lazarus to include the sisters. That's what I think it is. Not his actions are going to be contradictory. He's already said right here, the sickness will not lead to death, but to God's glory. So why would we need it? Because we already have that statement. We don't need that he loves them if this is going to lead to God's glory and the Son being glorified through him. We don't need that statement. See, I like to argue with people like at times is like, no, your point was your assumption was made in the previous sentence. This sentence didn't need to be added to prove that. Okay. So does this seem to contradict what I was talking about earlier about cause and effect? That here he has a sickness which is going to lead to death, but he says it's not going to lead to death, but God to be glorified. So Jesus knows what he's going to do. Different situation than the man born blind. Okay? Totally different situation. Here, it's not a status of birth. Here, it is, again, why is the Lazarus sick? Nothing about that. But now that he is, God's glory is going to come not in me healing him from sickness, but in me resurrecting him from the dead. Miss Doug Jada, good morning, tears. Uh-oh. What's going on, friend? So, crying in sad tears. Yeah. What are you crying for? Sir, what's going on? Can we pray for you, friend? Okay. Your dad, he's getting there. He's okay. He's getting there. Okay. This year has been rough at the moment, struggling to be happy since this is your first Christmas without your mom's mom, which is your grandma. And I know it's hard for my birthday this year and your mom's, and you get that she's watching over. But it's still just very emotional when Christmas isn't too far away now, and you're just crying and in bed at the moment. Okay. So, yeah. And I get that, and a number of people do that, and it's totally normal to approach celebrations and think more of the person missing than the people who are there, because you're longing for them to be present, so you're missing their presence, and each person might be different of how that happens, and also it might happen on year 2, year 3, year 10, year 15. Like, there is no set time limit for you to say, I don't feel and have sorrow of missing someone. So I know Ukulele usually does an empty chair stream. I don't know when she's doing that this year, but I've done that. And Blue Christmas is another one of those titles that people will use, just trying to help come alongside of people when they are mourning someone not being there in the midst of the holiday season when everyone else wants to be full of joy. So yeah, it's 3/18 for you. Yeah. Oh, she did it the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Oh, she already did it. Oh, okay. Thought she usually did it before Christmas. Maybe she's did it early, or maybe she's doing 2. Well, God, we're just lifting up Miss Duck Jada, and anyone who is grieving someone who's not there at this time of year. They have sorrow over missing a face, missing a voice, missing a hug, missing time together. May you help them to remember fondly memories of those people. May you meet them in their sorrow, and may you turn their sorrow into joy. Not erase their sorrow, but come alongside of it and bring it and turn it into joy. Just be with Miss Duck Jada where she is, and when she does fall asleep, maybe you give her very, very peaceful rest. Let's pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. You don't know what you mean, say Christmas or Thanksgiving. Yeah, usually I thought she did empty chair for Christmas, and maybe she just did it early this year. I know we did it together a couple of years ago, and then she's done it with Mother Goose. So, yeah, we'll try to be there right alongside you, Miss Duck Jada. Yeah, it was just hard to process. Oh, yeah, exactly. Okay, and we're talking about a story where Lazarus is going to die. Okay, so when he heard that Lazarus was sick, he remained in the place where he was for 2 more days. So I don't know exactly where he is, but the last thing we had is he was over where John was. And so if he remains for 2 more days, let's just say it took 1 day for the message to get there. He remains for 2 days, and then he's going to go. When it's a day journey, we got our 4 days. Maybe right after the messenger leaves, Lazarus ends up dying. Don't know. Let's just see. Then after this, he said to his disciples, "Let us go to Judea again." The disciples said, Rabbi, the Jewish leaders were just now trying to stone you to death. Are you going to go there again? So they're worried about the Jewish leaders going to stone him, because that's what happened the last time, and he has fled over across the Jordan. And now we're going to go back? Woohoo, 3 points. Okay, Mr. Stuck Jada, you're going to get to sleep, but I was shy to say that message while crying. Yeah. Yeah. Did they succeed? LOL. Yeah. I get you one reason. Like, yeah, they tried to. Duh. It didn't work. It didn't work. You think it's gonna work this time? Come on. Hey, one reason. Good to see ya. Peace. Thank you. All right. Okay. Jesus replied, "Are there not 12 hours in the day? If, if anyone walks around in the daytime, he does not stumble because he sees the light of the world." Okay, here's another title for Jesus, light of the world. But if, if anyone walks around at night, he stumbles because the light is not with him. Okay, Jesus, we just said they want to kill you. What are you talking about? Light and darkness. What? What do you mean? What? I don't get it. I do not get it. Sorry, I forgot to start the timer. After he said this, he added, so like all of that, like, hey, light, darkness, where are you at? After he said this, he added, our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I am going there to awaken him. So the fact that he says, I'm going there to awaken him from sleep, like anybody could have awakened him. Why would Jesus need to go to awaken him? Jesus clearly is metaphorically talking about he's dead. He is not confused. The disciples replied, Lord, if if he has fallen asleep, he will recover. Now, Jesus had been talking about his death, but they thought he had been talking about real sleep. So the clarification there of what the disciples are thinking. He said what he said. Exactly. Like, I'm going to wake him up. The verb literally means sleep, but is often used in the Bible as a euphemism for death. Yeah, we do this too at times. When we are being sensitive around death, we often have metaphors of we are missing someone, and there is an empty chair. They are no longer with us. We have a lot of different ways of talking about some things when we want to be sensitive about them instead of saying the thing. Yeah, eternal sleep, rest. Yep. Then Jesus told them plainly, Lazarus has died, and I am glad for your sake. Not I am glad. See how I paused that? No, don't pause that. I am glad for your sake that I was not there, so that you may believe. But let us go to him. So Thomas, called Didymus, which means the twin, said to his fellow disciples, let us go too, so that we may die with him. Like, you don't go, Jesus, you're gonna die. Well, I'm going to Lazarus. Well, let's go die too, everybody. Let's go die too. I'm watching. I can just see the disciples in heaven calmly looking at us as we ask them why they doubted so much, and saying, "Hindsight, children, of course you would think us dense, since you weren't there and didn't experience it in person." Yeah. Okay. Bum, ba-da-bum, bum, bum. So, like, Thomas is way off base. He's gonna die. Let's go die too. When Jesus arrived, he found Lazarus had been in the tomb for 4 days already. There is no description of the journey itself. The author simply states that when Jesus arrived, he found Lazarus had been in the tomb for 4 days. He had died sometime before this, but probably not very long. Yeah, so, well, you have, there is some later evidence, early 3rd century, of rabbinic belief that the soul hovered near the body of the deceased for 3 days, hoping to be able to return the body. But on the 4th day, it saw the beginning of decomposition and finally departed. This is from Leviticus Rabbi 8.1, or Rabbah 8.1, or 18.1. Boy, I'm reading hard today. If this belief is as old as the 1st century, it might suggest the significance of the 4 days. After this time, resurrection would be a first-order miracle, an unequivocal demonstration of the power of God. It is not certain if the tradition is this early, but it is suggestive. Certainly, the author does not appear to attach any symbolic significance to the 4 days in the narrative, but he may not have had to if it was prominent and understood. Okay. And why does he say he had been in the tomb 4 days already? He would only need to say he had been in the tomb. He would only need to say he had already been in the tomb. We wouldn't need the 4 days unless you were pointing to something that you need to see in significant with 4 days. So I'm not saying it's this, but why would the author say 4 days? Okay. Now, Bethany was less than 2 miles from Jerusalem, so many of the Jewish people of the region had come to Martha and Mary to console them over the loss of their brother. So when Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went to meet him, but Mary was sitting in the house. Martha, remember, Martha is the one trying to do the work and the proper work at the proper time in the proper way. So if Jesus is coming, she's going to meet the guest, the proper thing that would be done. Now, this would not necessarily be proper for her to do in her state of mourning. There would be no expectation necessarily for her to go and do this. She could have sent a servant to go and do this. But word comes that Jesus has been sighted and he's coming, and she doesn't wait for him to come to the house. She goes to him. Martha said to Jesus, "Lord, if if you had been here, my brother would not have died." Look at the faith that she has. But even now, I know that whatever you ask from God, God will grant you. Like, hey, I know you could have healed him, but I still know who you are. Like the faith that Martha is exhibiting here. Don't rest and think Martha was, from the story of Mary and Martha, and Mary has chosen the better thing. Martha's going out to Jesus, and then watch what she does. All right, we've got ads coming in, so we'll come back to this in just a moment. I was going to give you the BRB, and I'm like, yeah, the sunrise is pretty beautiful. Let's go to the sunrise.
Flat cap past the rocks is
I don't
tweet.
think I can find it here, but let me see.
Streaming life by the reeds. Fish pond calm and glassy clear. View it all right from here.
Nope. It's just off camera.
Dapper man
As far
with
as the
Saxon
camera
hand.
will go. You can see they're just to the
Plays
right.
tunes by his quiet land. acoustic guitar in the breeze serenades the fish with ease. Watch the fish, they swim along to the rhythm of his song. Flatcat Pastor shows the way, stream it live come what may. With his cam he shows it all, little fish both big and small. Life in ponds so serene, nature's beauty on a screen. See the ripples, watch the flow, hear the music, gentle glow. Flat cap's charm and calming tone makes the fish
Cam is
feel
having
right at
problems
home. Watch the fish, they swim along to the rhythm of his song. Flat Cat Pastor shows the way, stream it live come what may.
Use Cammy.
All right, so Martha goes out to meet Jesus. If you'd have been here, my brother would not have died. I know that. I know your power. I know who you are. And I still know God will do whatever you want. I don't know if she's fully believing in resurrection here. And that could be, if this would have been day one when Jesus showed up, she might have. But Jesus is going to meet her where she is. Watch. Jesus replied, "Your brother will come back to life again." Martha said, "I know that he will come back to life in the resurrection at the last day." Jesus said to her, "I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even if, even if he dies. The one who lives and believes in me will never die." So here we have another one of his I am statements. I'm the resurrection and the life. Belief in me. Okay, what do we have here on the footnote? Oh, we'll come to life. Okay. And will never die. Do you believe this? She replied, "Yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who comes into the world." So look at, she states what Peter has stated. She believes he is the Christ, the Son of God, who's come into the world. So doesn't answer his question about the resurrection only, but says, "Yes, I believe that. Yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Christ." So she states her answer by saying, "You are the resurrection and life. I believe you are the Christ." Yes. Second, I got new news. I'm losing some weight from cutting back on snacks and foods. Ah, way to go, buddy. Good for you, especially holiday season. That can be difficult. Definitely. That's a great thing. And when she had said this, Martha went and called her sister Mary, saying privately, "The teacher is here and is asking for you." Okay, where does Jesus say, go get Mary? Go get Mary. Where does it say that? Martha learned that Jesus was coming. Did Mary not hear that Jesus was coming? So I think Martha is going of her own volition to comfort her sister and invite her to Jesus. Now, I'm just trying to read the text and say that, because Jesus doesn't say, "Hey, go tell her." Now, maybe Jesus did, and that just didn't get put in the story, okay? But I think Martha, after her encounter with Jesus, knows Mary needs to go talk to him. And you need to know he's asking for you, not just he's already here. So, so when Mary heard this, she got up quickly and went to him. Like, why isn't Jesus coming to the house? Because he is out with the mourners by the tomb. That's why he's not going to where they are. He is with the mourners by the tomb. He is on the road. He is a crowd. It's easier for Mary to go to him than for Jesus to go to them. Now, Jesus had not yet entered the village, but was still in the place where Martha had come to meet him. So he hasn't even made it to the village yet. The villages. Mary and Martha, their hometown. The villages. Lazarus put in the ground. Okay. Then the people who were with Mary in the house counseling her saw her get up quickly and go out. They followed her because they thought she was going to the tomb to weep there. Like, we'll follow her. We need to sit Shiva with the person who is mourning. We don't do a good deal of doing this, of just mourning with those who mourn. Just being there, meeting their needs, not sitting Shiva is not talking, like not consoling with, let me tell you some fantastic things you can think about. No, it's not. It's not trying to get your mind off of things either. It's just allowing you to be where you are and me meeting your needs, me taking care of you, me being with you. As long as it takes, however many days it takes, we're going to do that. Now, when Mary came to the place where Jesus was and saw him, she fell to his feet and said to him, Lord, if if you had been here, my brother would not have died. Look at the confidence of both sisters in the healing of Jesus. Like, if you'd have been here, you'd have healed him. When Jesus saw her weeping and the people who had come with her weeping, he was intensely moved in spirit and greatly distressed. He asked, where have you laid him? They replied, Lord, come and see. Jesus wept. Okay. The Greek word used here for Jesus weeping, etakrousin, is different from the one used to describe the weeping of Mary and the Jews in verse 33, which indicated loud wailing and cries of lament. The word simply means to shed tears and has more of the idea of quiet grief. But why did Jesus do this? Not out of grief for Lazarus, since he was about to raise him to life. Morris thinks it was grief over the misconception of those around, but it seems in context that weeping is triggered by the thought of Lazarus in the tomb. This was not personal grief over the loss of a friend, since Lazarus was about to be restored, but grief over the effect of sin, death, in the realm of Satan. It was natural complement to the previous emotional expression of anger. It is also possible that Jesus wept at the tomb of Lazarus because he knew there was also a tomb for himself ahead. And it's also possible that regardless of him knowing what he was going to do, the circumstance of the situation of seeing him in the tomb brought the reality of death and wept over death. Yeah. I don't think we need to make more of this than, like, Jesus wept. Okay, so I did not realize that. I don't think I'd seen that part, that this word implies a quiet weeping. So while the others are loud wailing, Jesus has sorrow that overcomes what's going on. Admiral John Candy. Remember the Carmen song, Lazarus? Yeah, Lazarus, come forth, come forth. Yep. How do we know that Lazarus was never picked first for anything in school? Like, you know, you go out on recess and you're going to pick teams for dodgeball or kickball. How do we know that Lazarus was never picked first? He was never a team captain. Okay, so I don't remember where it is. Okay, so a lot of people say the shortest book or the verse in the Bible is Jesus wept. In English, it is. There is, however, and I wish I could remember where it is, there is a verse, either in Greek or Hebrew, that is one word in that language. Now, it gets translated longer in English, but it's a single word. Let me just see if ChatGPT can answer that. Maybe they can. Yep, no answer. It's thinking. It's thinking. All right, I'll come back and look later. I'll let it do its thing. Apparently, it's not gonna. I stumped it. I broke it. Okay, thus the people who had come to mourn said, "Look how much he loved him." So they see him crying. They make the statement about how much he loved him. But some of them said, "This is the man who caused the blind man to see. Couldn't he have done something to keep Lazarus from dying?" Like, he healed a blind man. Couldn't he have stopped Lazarus? Like, he's crying, look how much he loved him. So maybe our assumption of the tears are about loving him is because John has made the statement over and over again how much he loved him. And the people make the statement, see, there's evidence how much he loved him. He's shedding tears for him. It doesn't tell us who he shed tears for, but it does say when he saw Lazarus. Let's just go back to that. "Where have you laid him?" They replied, "Lord, come and see." Jesus wept. So is it he weeps at the invitation to Lord, come and see, or is it he sees him and he weeps? We just have it sequentially. Okay, there we go. In the Hebrew, there are several verses, one word long, usually where Selah is. No, I wasn't looking for Selah. Maybe it is Selah, though. Selah would certainly be shorter. Psalm 3:3. Let's go check that a second. Oh. Psalm 3:3 and Psalm 4:3. Bum, bum, bum. Psalm 3:3. Dun, 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 dun. And then Psalm 4:3. Psalm 3:3 and 4:3. Yeah, Psalm 3:3. That's more than. Yeah. Those are longer than one word. Okay. Oh, it's Masoretic text. We'll have them. Okay. Never mind. I don't remember what it is. Okay. Okay. See how much he loved him, and he couldn't have done anything. He healed a blind man, but he couldn't do it. The sandwich, so I can take your medication, but you're still listening. Okay. Sorry. My brain went to when you said the sandwich. I have family members who have dogs who've been on medication, and so you hide the medication in a sandwich. And so my brain went to that when you said the sandwich, so you can take your medication. And my brain went to, you hide your medication in the sandwich? Not, you need to have food with your medication. I don't know why it went there. Like, oh, you made a peanut butter sandwich and you hid your pills inside. All right. Jesus intensively moved again, came to the tomb. Now, it was a cave, and a stone was placed across it. Jesus said, "Take away the stone." Oh, by the way, nobody answered my question of how do we know crush them in applesauce? Oh, yeah. How do we know that Lazarus was never the team captain and he was never picked first for any team? And it's because Lazarus came fourth. Lazarus came fourth. Lazarus came fourth. So that's when he was picked. He was fourth. Okay. Now it was a cave and there was a stone that was placed over it. Jesus said, "Take away the stone." Well, you could also say, yeah, in the race, yeah, he took fourth place. But if you're just talking about the picking teams, he came fourth. He wasn't picked first. Martha, the sister of the deceased, replied, "Lord, by this time the body will have a bad smell because he has been buried 4 days." So again, we have the repetition of the 4 days. And yeah, he's going to stink because decomposition has begun. Yeah, it's more coating your stomach than I can take it because it'll mess up your gag reflex type thing. Yeah, right. I was like, my brain just went to the wrong place. I know that a lot of medications people need to take food with them. So I get that. My brain just went the wrong place today for some reason. Probably because you said sandwich instead of food. Okay. Jesus responded, "Didn't I tell you that if you believed, you would see the glory of God?" So they took away the stone. Jesus looked upward and said, "Father, I thank you that you have listened to me. I knew that you always listen to me, but I said this for the sake of the crowd standing here around, that they may believe that you sent me." Ooh, one reason I hadn't thought about that. You like how Jesus didn't go into the tomb. It wasn't his time yet. Even so, if he did go in, it still wouldn't have been his time, but I hadn't thought about that before. Also, let's just think this through logically for a second. The tomb probably smells. And even if he goes in and resurrects Lazarus, the smell is still going to be there. Okay? So maybe that's that. Maybe there's more to what you're saying. I've never actually thought about why doesn't Jesus go into the tomb? Wow. Jazz hands. One reason I have never thought about why didn't Jesus go into the tomb. I just always thought he's here with the crowd. He's doing it for the crowd to see. I never thought, why didn't he go in the tomb? He could have went in the tomb. Like, think about this. When he heals the little girl, he puts everybody who's mourning out of the house. And he does the resurrection quietly. He's not doing this one quietly. He's doing this one publicly. Maybe that's why he doesn't go in the tomb. Because he could have went in the tomb, laid hands on Lazarus. He could have went and did an ASMR. Lazarus, come forth. Right, just in his ear, whisper, ASMR, Jesus here. Lazarus, come forth. Could have done all that. Just having fun with you. I never thought about that. Why didn't he go in the tomb? One reason, this is why it's so much fun to do Bible in a group. Because you bring things up I've never thought of. Okay. When he had said this, he shouted in a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out!" The one who had died came out, his feet and hands tied up with strips of cloth, and a cloth wrapped around his face. Jesus said to them, "Untie him and let him go." Okay. Wouldn't it have been more kind to, like, go into the tomb? I mean, like, if he's bound hand and feet, he's like hopping. Like, we think of mummies with individual legs, you know, being able to move. He probably had both legs together. He's probably like hoppity hippity hop, 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 coming along and trying to, you know, get out of there. Okay, I had to stop and getting up out of bed to just say on the side of it and laugh out ASMR. Jesus, I can't. Okay, oxygen is back. I'm sorry. I just had that thought. Yeah, he would have been hopping. Like, his legs would have been probably bound together. Not like we think of mummies in movies. It would have been a difficult thing for Lazarus to come forth. Now, I have heard many pastors say this, and I don't think I agree with this. They'll point out, why does Jesus say Lazarus come out? Because if Jesus would have just said come out, everybody in the tomb would have come out. And I'm thinking, I don't think so. I don't think so. Not that he didn't have the power to, but they would not have been talked to, even if he didn't say the name Lazarus. I don't think they would have come out of the tomb because he wasn't talking to them. Okay, so I just don't believe that is true. We're reading into the text. Now, I don't want to say there's anything wrong with the thought of that. Like, hey, what would have happened if, okay? But to state it emphatically that the reason that Jesus had to say Lazarus come forth is because otherwise everybody in the tombs would have got up. No, I don't think that's true. Would Jesus have had the power to if he would have just said, "Everyone ever dead, resurrect now"? Yeah, he is the resurrection and the life. He could do that. That's not the point. And when we point that out, I think we get astray. Now, to just hypothesize of, whoa, Jesus has that kind of power? Great. Love that thought. I mean, if he can resurrect one person, couldn't he resurrect them all? Yep. Yep. Absolutely. So the other thing with some of the other people, let's go with that for a second. They would not have resurrected bodies yet because he has not yet overcome and conquered death and sin because he hasn't died. So would their skeletons have just come out? What if they had, like, if that would have been all that was in there for some of the other people, would we just have skeletons coming out? Like, really? Because there wouldn't be resurrection yet from the standpoint of the resurrection of the dead, because he hasn't resurrected. So there isn't a new body. Lazarus comes in an old body. We don't have resurrection in a new body. We have healing of the dead who are within a window where their body has not decomposed. Like the man who was dead who gets thrown on Elijah's bones. I can't remember if it's Elijah or Elisha. Maybe it's Elisha's bones. He hops out and is alive immediately. Guy had a body. Lazarus has a body, not decomposed yet, not down to just bones only. And oh yeah, we've got Ezekiel, and dry bones can come to life, and you can put all the skin on and all of that. Yeah, that's a foreshadowing of the resurrection, I think. Okay. Anyway, Revelation says so. Yes, absolutely. Archie Bible, the dead rose during the crucifixion. Yeah, exactly. Well, okay, we'll have to read that. And how do you read it? It's there's a way of reading it that doesn't pin the time frame. It's just during the time that many were raised. Could also be not on the exact day, because it's more of a summary. And here's other events that happened. Many who were dead rose and came into the city. Could also just be a summary of the events that happened after the resurrection. Maybe not at the crucifixion. We'll look at that when we get there. Or maybe if we got time today, we can peek at it. But I want to finish this. We got ads coming in, so... Yeah, let's look at the sunrise.
Flat cap pastor rocks his tweed, streaming life by the reeds. Fish pond calm and glassy clear, view it all right from here. Dapper man with sax in hand, plays tunes by his quiet land. Acoustic guitar in the breeze serenades the fish with ease. Watch the fish, they swim along to the rhythm of his song. Flat Cat Pastor shows the way, stream it live come what may. With his cam he shows it all, little fish both big and small. Life in pond so serene, nature's beauty on a screen. See the ripples, watch the flow, hear the music, gentle glow. Flat cap's charm and calming tone makes the fish feel right at home. Watch the fish, they swim along to the rhythm of his song. Flat Cat Pastor shows the way, stream it live come what may. Refue's cam, shows it all. Little fish, both big and small. Life in pond so serene, nature's beauty on a screen.
Right, we back.
Watch the flow.
All right. So we've got the resurrection. We don't get any words of Lazarus here. Do you ever notice that? Like Lazarus doesn't say, hey, thanks, bro. We don't have a, hey, man, you guys won't believe this. Let me tell you where I've been the last 4 days. Like, we don't get none of that. None of that. Like, wouldn't that have been, like, the most fun thing to find out and to have information about? Like, we get none of that. Then many of the people who had come with Mary and had seen the things Jesus did believed in him. But some of them went to the Pharisees and reported to them what Jesus had done. We're going to tattle on you, Jesus. You raised someone from the dead, and we know you healed somebody blind. Nobody's ever done those things. We're going to go tell on you. Tattletales. Causing problems for centuries. So the chief priest and the Pharisees called the council together and said, what are we going to do? For this man is performing many miraculous signs. If, if we allow him to go on in this way, everyone will believe in him, and the Romans will come and take away our sanctuary and our nation. Yeah, snitching. Haters gonna hate. But notice, not, oh my goodness, he raised somebody from the dead. He has to be who he said he is. No. More people, more naive people will believe in him because he's doing parlor tricks. I digress. He's doing parlor tricks over here. You know, just healing people blind, nobody's ever heard of it. And healing and resurrecting somebody after 4 days, nobody's ever heard of. Yeah, people are going to believe in him, and then Rome's going to come and take away our sanctuary and our nation. We're going to get squashed by Rome because of this guy. Then one of them, Caiaphas, who was high priest that year, said, you know nothing at all. You do not realize that it is more to your advantage to have one man die for the people than the whole nation to perish. But he did not say this on his own, but because he was high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus was going to die for the Jewish nation. So I like how somebody says something and then they interpret it in a new way. It implies in a new way. It gets applied in a different way than the intent. And not for the Jewish nation only, but to gather together into one the children of God who are scattered. Oh, going back to Jesus, I have other sheep not in this fold. So from that day, they planned together to kill him. So Rome's going to come and squash us. How do we get away from Rome squashing us? We squash him. That's the way we do it. We get rid of him. Rome will have no problem. Thus, Jesus no longer went around publicly among the Judeans, but went away from there to the region near the wilderness to a town called Ephraim, and stayed there with his disciples. Now the Jewish feast of Passover was near, and many people went up to Jerusalem from the rural areas before the Passover, to cleanse themselves ritually. Thus, they were looking for Jesus and saying to one another as they stood in the temple courts, "What do you think? That he won't come to the feast?" Now the chief priest and the Pharisees had given orders that anyone who knew where Jesus was should report it so they could arrest him. Driven by faith, welcome in. So after he raises Lazarus from the dead, it's high alert. It's red alert. It's DEFCON 4. I don't know what it is. However that goes. Red, yo! Welcome in. Morning, y'all. And, now we're going to get crazy here. Okay, so that's chapter 11. Let's see what we've got. So we got through chapter 11. So we're John 11. Very good, very good. Now, what was the thing that... Okay, you were talking about many... oh, sorry. No, they went the wrong way. Okay, which gospel has dead walking around? Okay. Okay, so it's Matthew. So let's go there. Matthew 27. All right. We'll just go peek at that because that was mentioned. I missed it. $52 to $53. Okay. Okay, let's start at 50. Then Jesus cried out again in a loud voice and gave up his spirit. Just then the temple curtain was torn from top to bottom. The earth shook and the rocks were split apart. And the tombs were open and the bodies of many saints who were dead were raised. They came out of the tombs after his resurrection. That's what I wanted to get to. The earthquakes happen and it says, and many of the saints who were dead were raised. Then it gives a clarification. They came out of the tombs after the resurrection and went into the holy city and appeared to many people. So it's after the resurrection, they come out of the tombs. So it mentions the tombs were open and the bodies of many saints who were dead were raised, but they aren't raised until after the resurrection. At least that's how I read it, because it says they came out of the tombs after his resurrection. So we're reading it in the earthquake and the rock splitting and the veil being torn, and all of this is because of the crucifixion, but the results of them being able to be raised and walk around happen when his resurrection happens. So Artsy, I hope that makes sense. That's what I was trying to get at there. So they aren't raised until after resurrection, because until after he is resurrected, death and sin isn't conquered. It's in the process of being conquered. The earthquake that shatters the veil, and I think that's where we have the connection. The earthquake which shatters the veil and the temple curtain is torn, and the curtain between the realm of the dead and the realm of the living is split apart, and so that the tombs can be open, and the saints who come and walk around and appear to many people. Now what's interesting is, like, it's just stated as they come and what happens to them afterwards? Like, how long are they walking around in the city? They like, this is one of the weirdest things. The dead saints come and they walk around and they're hanging out in the city. How long do they hang out for? What happens afterwards? Like, hello? Are they there for, until 40 days when Jesus is ascended? Do they just come around for a couple of hours and then they're all taken away like Elijah and caught up? And I don't mean they have to be a chariot, just like they go and they walk with God. They walk in the city and then they walk with God. What happens? Like, they go back into the tomb? I mean, this is such a weird thing. And then it's like, and then it just goes away. Nothing else. Nothing to see here. Maybe the bodies were exposed, but they couldn't come out until Jesus are first. Yeah. I think there's a level of that veil being torn, and stating, and many of the saints who had died were raised. And like, how many? Which ones? Yeah, the many of the saints who were asleep were raised. Like, is this ancient ones, like Moses and Elijah, are raised, or is this just recent ones? No idea. And many? How many? All right. Well, there we go, everybody. And I did see the Luke 10, or not Luke 10:2, but the prayer 10:2. So, which is Luke 10:2. So, the harvest is plentiful and the workers are few. So we are praying for the workers of the harvest, for God to send more out. So we pray at 10:02. Actually, let me do this a second. There we go. Some emojis for that. All right. So God, we're just praying for workers for the harvest. We know that we are in a space, Twitch, that needs to be redeemed. There are many people here who need to be redeemed. They are walking in darkness, and we are trying to shine the light. The light of the world has come, and there are many who are walking in darkness and in dark places, and we want to bring that light. So God, we are trying to redeem this space. We are seeking after you, and we're in agreement with Jesus, who said, the harvest is plentiful and the workers are few. We see that the harvest is plentiful, and we are praying that you will raise up more workers into the harvest, to be streamers, to be mods, to just be faithful in the stream, in the Discord, in all the places where people are beyond gaming and Twitch. May you just send up and raise up more and more people to be salt and light, to bring the good news of Jesus wherever they go. We just pray this and agree with this, and ask your blessing on all those who are already doing it. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. So if you take a look, I got 2 podcasts coming up in the next 2 weeks. What in the world are you doing, buddy? Oh, my goodness. You see him? Yeah, well, you see him. Let me show you. He just swam by in there, and he was going bonkers, swimming from end to end and splashing around in the corner. And I don't know what else he was doing. Like, he looks like he's calmed down now, but boy, he was going bonkers there for a minute. Radio, not going to lie to y'all. I need prayer for your ADHD. You can't focus properly. You have a drive to be here for Bible study, but oof, you keep finding yourself starting at things on Facebook, and the devil is real and keeps distracting me with rage bait. Oh, Radio, sorry to hear that. Just pray about those things rather than take the bait, I guess. On some level, say, God, I just give this over to you. This makes me angry. I can't change it. Yeah. Well, and there's a reason why people use rage bait, because it will draw people in. One hair is just dangled down today. I don't know why. All right. So, let me go back here because I do not have the, I was going to say. So, tomorrow, there is the gaming podcast with Anarchist Cakery, 2 p.m. And then the following Wednesday will be at 1 p.m. with Night Saber. So, we got 2 podcasts coming up. I don't know if I'll do more this year. I'm going to revamp the podcast for next year. So it's no longer going to be the Church Digital Gaming Outpost podcast. That is too many things, and nobody that knows the Church Digital is going to go and find it. So the new podcast name is Control Alt Redeem, because I am talking to people who are using their computers, who are in gaming, who are redeeming the space and redeeming people. And so I'm going to talk to them just like I have been. It'll still be the same podcast for the most part, still hanging out with Twitch streamers, asking them what they're doing, what God's been up to, and all of that. So that's what I'm working on redoing there. And I will be, and one reason you've been on. Yeah, you like the name? I'm really digging the name. My hope in redoing the name is because the Church Digital or the Gaming Outpost podcast says nothing to the church as a whole who is not in gaming. And this is me feeling the need to get it into and in front of eyeballs that are in the church so that the person who's feeling called to it can find encouragement and support in their church. And a church who has a streamer can now learn how to support a streamer who's in that space. So anyway, and I've got some blogs that'll come out this year, I should say next year, encouraging and talking about how the church can support streamers. I've got one written. I don't know when it'll be released. I'll share it in Discord when it does. Radio. Oh, Lord, I have a podcast with a girl called Control Alt Squirrel. Great minds think alike. Control Alt Squirrel. Zach Lee, welcome in. And I totally get what Control Alt Squirrel is. Yes. Control Alt Redeem. Yeah. Control Alt Squirrel. Nice. Oh, so I will be back today on the Church Digital. I think I'm going to continue playing. What is it? Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I think people just call it Expedition 33. So I think I'm going to continue playing Expedition 33 today. I'll be back at 2 o'clock on the Church Digital. I may start again doing working on Mondays and Fridays, co-working streams. But I think I'm going to wait until the beginning of the year. I'm just going to do work that I need to get done, not co-working, and work on the other stream to get it, I don't know, some of the other things that coworkers do a little bit nicer over there is what I might do. Or maybe I'll hang out here for co-working. I don't know. I'm just thinking I want to return to doing some co-working streams in the new year. And no promises of when or where, but looking at it. All right. So we've got redeem for go to Danny got dimes. Let me find the right thing so we can raid out. All right, let me start the raid and give you a blessing. May God's seeking comfort find you. May his loving arms bind you. May his might protect you. May his wisdom direct you. May the joyous love of Jesus Christ be with you and all those you know, both now and forevermore. Amen. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Appreciate you all. Love you. Let's go. Let's bless other people. And I'll see some of you later. I'll see some of you tomorrow. I'll see the rest of you whenever that happens. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.
Flat cap on his head, he's streaming live. Reading from the book, the word so alive. A prayer in his heart that lifts the soul. In the digital world where spirits roll. Hallelujah, from the screen we scream. Join the pastor in the holy dream, spreading love with every verse he reads, planting hope like precious seeds. He's a shepherd with a virtual flock, leading us to faith around the clock. Tapping amen as we raise our hands in this sacred digital land. Don't need a pew to find the light. Through a screen he's shining bright, preaching peace and guiding us right. In our hearts his fire ignites. Hallelujah, from the screen we scream. Join the pastor in the holy dream, spreading love with every verse he reads, planting hope like precious seeds. Chat is buzzing with the gospel truth. Every line a fountain of youth. Bible open pages turning slow. Feel the spirit start to flow.
I appreciate the raid. I hope this
Chat is buzzing with the gospel truth. Every line a fountain of youth. Bible open pages turning slow. Feel the spirit start to flow.
That's nice. Glad you're able to spread word out and get people encouraged. Always a good thing to have people like that. Rob. You're good watching. Go. I just appreciate you being here whenever you can. So. So. Rob. 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 Go. Appreciate the lurk. Thank you. I greatly appreciate the raid. Go. Means a lot.